Yo everyone, Dekzeh here, back to narrate another game for the CALLOUS Invitational. And this will be a lower bracket, losers bracket matchup between Kerts, very well-known player within the ADV, little group, and ABR, just one of the best players of all time, period, any format, anything. Probably the favorite here, but Kerts is just one of those ADV specialists where I just wouldn't rule him out in any way. And yeah, both lost already. This is loser's bracket. Whoever loses here is simply out of the tournament. I'll just jump right into this. We see Metagross on Swampert, so lots of mind games going on here. There's the turn 1 Exploders, there's the Protects on the switch out, which makes it look very silly. There's random HP Grass. I honestly probably like switching out on both sides here. Even if I'm like HP Grass Metagross, I don't want HP Grass on a Protect. If I'm Swampert, I don't want to like Protect on a switch like Skarmory. And I also don't want to like Earthquake on an Explosion on HP Grass, so I just like double switching out here. We do see Salamence on Swampert, and we see that's right on. And also the Magneton there, really good scouting for possible Skarmory, which would have made a lot of sense there. If Kerts had one. I mean, he could still have one, but right now I would say it's not likely because Skarmory was a very free switch there. And the Magneton also scouted like HP Grass, the Pivot, because you don't want to go like Hard Zapdos, so I like the play from both of them there. The Salamence switching in on Swampert kind of represented that it's mixed, but it showed Earthquake, so probably not. We see Celebi Calm Mind, so maybe this is some sort of Calm Mind BP squad, because there's the Magneton there, there's a Zapdos with Baton Pass, we do see the Baton Pass coming out. And it's Magneton, are just preying on no Earthquake. We do see the Earthquake, so yeah. So this is one thing with those like special offenses that ABR is running, like Calm Mind Celebi, probably like Calm Mind Baton Pass Celebi, Baton Pass Zapdos, probably some other Calm Minder in the back. You kind of end up making so many concessions to beating Blissey, and you're playing against Snorlax is still momentum based, right? So if you are not on the offensive momentum when the Snorlax comes out, it's very, very hard to deal with. We do see here that ABR is just gonna sack the Magneton. He sees that there is no Skarmory to be had and just go back to the weak Celebi. And I mean, this Snorlax will definitely get another Q at some point by exploding. Kerts decides to save that though for later and just explodes the Metagross. Instead, I like that a lot. I think Kerts is in a really good position here. The Salamence had represented HP Grass, but it's not. We see a good switch by ABR catching the Suicune with the Zapdos and Sub on the Magneton switch in, getting the momentum back, and we see a Raikou. Okay, so Raikou behind the Sub with a paralyzed Snorlax. Yeah, ABR might come back into this game. He might need a little bit of luck. Snorlax without Sandstorm is just so tough for like heavy special offense to deal with. ABR kind of like some modern CM spam offense, I guess. More so like a CM BP Celebi squad than anything else. I like it. That's like my kind of squads. I used to love those back in the day. We're gonna see a Calm Mind here, and can this Raikou muscle through this paralyzed Snorlax? That is a lot of damage, but yeah, that's the thing. You know, if Sandstorm was up, that was a 3-hit kill, but right now it might not be. It's close. It looks like it's a range here. Raikou goes for the sub, fishing for the para. Oh. What were the first Thunderbolt did 36, the second did 38, and Snorlax was at 39. So it's probably not worth just going for the Thunderbolt there. I like the sub play, fishing for the para. And he gets one more chance that would not have killed if he attacked the turn earlier, and Snorlax just never paralyzes. The Salamence would have been able to revenge, but with enough damage taken, it's pretty likely that Salamence would die and it could have been a swip. What could our ABR's last here even be? It could be a Suicune, but with Swampert it's just less likely. I'm imagining something like Dekzeh or Porygon, right? Probably... it's hard to say. I'm trying to think. It looks really hard for him to win here. I guess, like... we also don't even know what Kerts last is here. Let's just see. Is this HP Grass? This is HP Grass. Swampert does live though. And Surf in Torrent kills. Is this Salak Berry? He's gonna get a Salak here. Oh, it's lefties. If that was Salak, that would have been so sick. Okay, this Porygon 2 last, so maybe there's a chance. Kerts last is some sort of like offensive monstrosity. I guess as ABR you're hoping something like a Gyarados. But it could be so many things. It's definitely like not a Tyranitar from what we have seen. Maybe like a Heracross would make some sense, and that would be really bad for ABR. We do see the Porygon Ice Beam that kills, and it is a Heracross. And it is sub Heracross, Ice Beam. I'm not sure if that crit matters or not. It might not. Thunder Wave on the sub, it's gonna Swords Dance, and now we are at the mercy of Mega Horn hitting. Yep, just gotta hit some Mega Horns. Ice Beam does not break the Zapdos, so he has multiple chances to hit. We do see the Mega Horn there, kills Swampert, goes to Zapdos, just gotta keep hitting. Rock Slide hits, Zapdos is dead, and just gotta hit the Porygon like 3 times maybe. Yeah, it's looking ugly for ABR, and Heracross Whip, you love to see it. Those teams are both really sweet. I like them both. Like, I don't know, you cannot ever dislike a game where there's no Sandstorm, first of all, and there's a Heracross Sweep. Very possibly because there's no Sandstorm, but you know. Heracross is just such a likable mon. Well played by Kerts. Honestly, a really good game. Well played by both sides here. But yeah, let's just jump right into game number 2. Skarmory lead on Jirachi. Jirachi could be anything. It looks like it's just a defensive Fire Punch Toxic. That's all popular nowadays, and especially defensive Skarmory. Just a standard with Steel Roar. Getting some scouting on. Interesting that ABR went to his own Skarm and not like a spinner. We do see that it is a spinner. There's the Claydol. It looks like it doesn't want Claydol to get toxic, which could mean that it's not a rest/refresh variant. Nice Thief Skarmory on the Zapdos. Love to see it. And Spike on the sub, then it goes Claydol on the Thunderbolt. Okay. It's gonna get a Baton Pass here potentially. It just gets the Hidden Power off on the spin, chipping down the Claydol. That's cool. Sub Zapdos losing the leftovers definitely matters. We see Baton Pass back to Skarmory, so probably can rule out Duggy Trio being an option there, or you would have went for the trap on that Celebi. Also kind of rules out some other potentially very offensive stuff that would threaten Celebi out, like a Moltres or a Charizard. I'm not really sure what Kert's team could have, because with sub BP Zapdos you generally want to be more offensive, but then there's just the typical special defensive Skarmory. So I'm not too sure. And ABR teams is looking like, what the hell is this? Like Thief Skarmory? And then Celebi Claydol Skarm. I have no idea what could be in the back. So let's just keep watching. Kert's just getting them layers down. And they're just trading spikes. Claydol comes in. It's gonna get toxic now to spin. And Skarmory is gonna get toxic. Dude, I'm just like bringing back the memories here of back in the day when we used to play ADVOU on Net Battle, and there was a bug where you could not rapid spin away spikes if you hit a substitute, and that bug made substitute Skarmory a popular thing, because you would just like sub down and then you would block spin with your Skarmory. That's just a funny old boomer bug from the good old days of Net Battle. Yeah, we see that ABR has a Blissey, by the way. Really struggling to break down through this Skarmory plus Zapdos. Actually, just the Skarmory. Like, his whole squad of 5 struggles to break through that. We do see Kerts revealing a new mon. It's a Metagross on his HP Grass. Celebi is toxic, and ABR is gonna have to show something, and it shows a Moltres. Okay, that's a good one. That is a good one against everything that we have seen from Kerts, and the Zapdos has no leftovers and is low, but there is a Starmie that takes 1,000,000. This is interesting, because from the damage, this looks like it's offensive Starmie. And you could just be greedy and stay in an HP Grass on a recover / spin. But I guess Kurt has no reason not to go for like the Hydro Pump here, right? And ABR goes Blissey, just goes for the Rapid Spin. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? ABR won't be willing to risk his Moltres there. And with just his Seismic Toss, this makes me think that this is not Recover Starmie. And pretty interesting that ABR went Blissey and not Celebi there. I guess maybe he was scared of Ice Beam on the switch, because Celebi would have prevented Starmie from recovering if he had that. Maybe he just made the read that it was not a Recover Starmie, which is pretty fair too. We do see Zapdos passing another sub, potentially. What you here? Do you have like a oh my god, Focus Punches Blissey. Can you please do that? That would be sick. It's not gonna do that, right? Yeah. This Will-O-Wisp, boring, effective standard. You could even taunt this, or just Thunderbolt, chip it down, get a critical hit. That's way more than chipping it down. That's a near-death Jirachi. Gengar does not have Fire Punch though, or he would have gone for that. So Jirachi will heal it back up, but it's just never gonna be incredibly healthy anymore here. It's almost safe to assume that this Blissey does have Aromatherapy, because it didn't stay into Ice Beam the Gengar. Maybe playing around Perish Trap. Honestly, Perish Trap Gengar would have gone so hard there. And yeah, we're just seeing this long stalemate of sorts, where they're both just using PP, and Jirachi is very slowly healing. I guess you can Fire Punch this turn. Does that break the sub? With a crit, it definitely does. And from here, I imagine Kurt just switches out, goes into Starmie. And let's see a switch to Blissey. This is probably just gonna be a spin by Starmie. Are we gonna get 2 games in a row? We are. I was about to ask if we're gonna get 2 games in a row without Sandstorm, and we do. Honestly, I am a fan. And it's a Leech Seed Celebi, and this Blissey should just be turned away with Seismic Toss, Aroma, Soft Boil, I imagine. But ABR's Moltres is looking so menacing right now. The Starmie cannot even switching anymore, so whenever that Moltres gets in, something is dying, and it could be right now. Let's see, does Kerts do something about this? Does he explode on the switch? It just meshes. Ooh, gets an attack boost, and I mean, this is an important turn right here. What does ABR want to do about it? Goes into Skarmory. As we see that the Metagross has Rock Slide, so very well played by not going into Moltres before, and honestly kind of fire by Kerts by not Rock Sliding the turn prior either. And he's just pushing this, trying to get as much damage as possible. Metagross decides to save it. Ooh, that drop back crit, getting Zapdos super low. Roger's gonna set Dry Baton Pass, I imagine. Thunderbolting the Blissey. Oh, this is a very even game right now. I could see it going either way. I think ABR has so much pressure with the Moltres. We see an explosion that doesn't kill Blissey, but it's in Spike's range. Ooh. I wonder if that Blissey could ever heal. There's no Thunder Wave anywhere else. Meteor Mashing on Jirachi. Guess he didn't want to go Skarmory there. Just pushing to get the Moltres in. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm sorry, I misclicked. I pressed reset when I meant to press pause. Let's just skip right through back to where we are. Basically, I'm not sure why ABR didn't go into Skarmory there. We're almost there. Okay, this is the first sequence. we're back here. So Thunderbolt ability, we saw that. It's gonna baton pass into Gengar. And explodes. Blissey is low, you go Metagross, you force it out. I'm not sure here why ABR decided to go into Jirachi instead of Skarmory. Maybe he felt he didn't need the Jirachi anymore? I feel like going... I guess he didn't want... No, because the Zapdos coming in, just go Play-Doh and spin. Maybe he was scared of Starmie? But Starmie is like a reason... No. Yeah, I don't follow that. Moltres is gonna get a kill, that much is certain. And from here, the Starmie is just gonna meet the Blissey sack. Yes, cannot spin into Celebi. And Celebi can safely recover here, or just go for the Eden Power, whatever works. You can even Leech Seed this Skarmory. Oh, the miss is annoying, but Skarmory did get paralyzed, so it's not that bad. Yeah, so ABR has to rely on the Celebi to beat Starmie, and Kerts has to rely on Starmie to beat Moltres. That's kind of the standoff right now, and I feel like whoever pulls the first like good double switch is gonna be at an advantage here. We do see Metagross Meteor meshing the Skarmory. Wow. I guess the Skarmory does not have... Oh yeah, no, this makes sense. Skarmory does not have Roar, maybe? I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on here. We do see Hydro Pump on the Celebi, and the crit definitely puts it into Ice Beam range, right? That Celebi just gonna die now. Yeah, that crit was actually huge. I was just like trying to figure out a different play pattern on the Skarmory there by ABR, but the Starmie was just always gonna be a threat, and I guess you still have the option to dodge a Hydro Pump with Moltres and win that way, because everything else is in range. So can you do it? You just connect the Hydro Pump and it's over. Wow, that crit on the Celebi with the Hydro Pump really mattered. I'm not too sure about like some of the plays there, like I guess never sending Skarmory in on Metagross makes more sense if you don't have Roar. I'm not sure what's the last move on Thief Skarmory. That's not a set I'm familiar with. It's like, you know, I predate stuff like this. This doesn't exist back in the day. I'm too much of a boomer for Thief Skarmory. So maybe if it doesn't have Roar, it makes a lot of sense to not go there. But overall, like, really good series. Very well played by both. Kerts played super tight and got the one lucky break that he needed. And ABR also played pretty well. I really like Game 1. I like Game 1 a lot. But Game 2 was also very good, very fun. And interesting, like, a whole series without Sandstorm. Isn't that crazy? But that's gonna do it for today. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.